Today I'm making a vegetarian dinner full of nutrients and really delicious. So I'm gonna be baking some plantains, and the hardest part about plantains is that they take forever to ripen. I've literally had these for about 3 weeks. I bought a big bag from Costco, and they have been sitting in the trunk of my car trying to get them to ripen. So once your plantains are looking really ugly, the browner the better. That means that they're ready to bake, and I'm just cutting them in half lengthwise and in half again. And I lined that pan with some nonstick foil, great invention, with canola oil. And then I'm just gonna brush on a little bit of canola oil on top of each slice of plantains. I don't season these, no salt, no pepper. These are gonna go in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. You wanna poke them and make sure they're nice and soft. And then at the end, I just broil them for about a minute. Be very careful because you don't want them to burn. Those are so sweet and delicious. Now I'm using an Instapot to make some black beans, and we eat a lot of black beans. They're really healthy for you. I like to make them from scratch. So I'm gonna saute some onion, garlic, and jalapeno, or in this case, I'm using a serrano chili. Depending on how hot you want your beans, if you're using a pepper like jalapeno or serrano, if you leave the stem and the seeds in, it's gonna be hotter. I'm going to put in a spice mix that I've made. I've got cumin, ancho chili pepper, and a little paprika with a little more garlic powder. Now I have rinsed really well, really well, 1 pound of black beans. It's about 3 cups. I buy beans in bulk, and I don't have a scale at home, but I've measured it, and it's about 3 cups. And then I'm gonna add 6 cups of water, and then I'm gonna set the pressure cooker on high for 28 minutes. And miraculously, these beans that were dried a half hour ago are gonna be totally cooked. The pressure cooker thing is just, it blows my mind away at how quickly things are prepared. So after 28 minutes, my beans are done. They're nice and saucy. You can see some liquid left behind. That's how I like them. There's not too much liquid. This is the point that I season. And I start with a couple teaspoons. It seems like a lot, but beans take a lot of salt. And then I give it a really good mix. Let it absorb for a few minutes before I even taste it. And then if I feel it needs more salt, I'll add salt. But I always salt beans after they've cooked. Now for the cilantro lime rice, I'm starting with 1 minced garlic clove and about a 1/4 cup of minced onion. It's very important that the garlic and the onion are in tiny pieces because I don't really like to see it in the rice. And we're sauteing that with some olive oil and salt. And then I'm gonna add the rice in so that the rice gets nice and coated with the oil before I drop in the liquids. So give that all a good stir. Let that saute for a couple minutes before you drop in dry rice. And I'm using just Uncle Ben's long grain rice. Once you've coated the rice with the oil, it's time to drop in some fresh lime juice and some lime zest, hence the name cilantro lime rice. So I've got the zest of 1 lime, and I put in about a tablespoon of fresh lime juice, and then I'm going to add in the water. And because I already put oil and I put some juice in, I can't do a 2-to-1 ratio with the rice, so I'm kicking back on my water quantity. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up with very soggy rice. So in this case, if I'm using 1.5 cups of rice, then I don't wanna put in 3 cups of water. I use about 2.5 cups. You wanna bring it to a boil, and then you're going to put the lid on, and you're going to lower the temperature so that the rice is simmering. And once the water has been absorbed and your rice is looking nice and fluffy, you wanna give it a little mix before adding in the cilantro. And just like the onion and garlic, I wanna make sure the cilantro is finely chopped. Gently mix it together before serving it alongside the beans, the plantains, and a big piece of some queso fresco. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.